Derek Carr and the Las Vegas Raiders dilemma has officially come to a close. It has been full of drama and speculation about if Carr would be traded, and if so, to what team. One complex factor in the trade was Derek Carr's contract, as he was slated to make over $40 million next season. The other complex factor was that Derek Carr has a no-trade clause in his contract, which means that the Raiders would essentially need Carr's blessing in any trade, which gives him the power in this dynamic. There was optimism last week when he had visits with the New Orleans Saints, and they reportedly had a trade in place had Carr decided that this was the place for him. Unfortunately for the Raiders, Carr left the visit and decided it better suits him to simply be released and seek his own team in free agency. This release request was granted and Carr has officially been released. In my opinion, this actually made the most sense for Carr. Let me explain why. Put yourself in his shoes. If you were out the door with the Raiders and you knew that, facilitating a trade for you would require his new franchise to send draft capital, reportedly a third-round pick, in exchange for you. Whereas when you are cut, you're signing as a free agent and your new franchise is out no draft capital. The final point I want to make before getting into some of Carr's 2022 film is that Carr can sign whenever he wants, as his contract was terminated as opposed to expiring. So unlike NFL free agents, Carr is able to sign with his new team today if he wishes to do so. In this video, I want to break down Carr's film from 2022 and show what he brings to the table, and at the end we'll discuss the possible landing spots and where I think he's going to fit best. The three teams that I think come to my mind right now are the New Orleans Saints, the New York Jets, and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Now to get into the film, on this first play, I want to show you the kind of offense Carr likes to operate. For better or worse, Carr is a check-down happy passer. He loves taking the easy completions, and at times, this has left some meat on the bones for the offense. On this play, we have a designated screen to the running back. The tight end and slot receiver are going to be moving up to block these two defenders in the middle of the field, and the outside receiver at the bottom of the screen is going to be running a quick out just to move his corner to the sideline. This is the type of offense Carr is comfortable running. Quick, easy, short, manufactured passes. There's nothing wrong with the style of play. The only issue I have with it is when he has targets open downfield, but elects to take the safe check down instead. There will be examples of this later in the video. On the next play, we're going to be looking at the top of the screen where we're going to be running this go route paired with this out route. It's plays like this that are the reason Carr is so comfortable operating in the underneath passing game. As we can see, Carr is going to get to the back of his drop and separate his arm from his body to begin his throwing motion prior to Hunter Renfrow exiting the stem of his route. Renfrow is still in the break of this out route and hasn't even gotten his head around yet. This is a very rhythm and timing driven route that requires Carr to put the ball where Carr believes Renfrow is going to be when the ball gets there. This kind of timing takes a lot of reps to get right, and this is the kind of short passing game Carr likes to operate in. With the defender on Renfrow's inside hip, this ball has to be placed perfectly if it's going to be completed. As we can see from the end zone angle, Carr does put this in the perfect location. Renfrow is able to gather, make a couple moves in space, and get into the end zone for the touchdown. Carr's short game passing accuracy is his biggest asset, and when determining his next team, I think this will play a big part in his decision making. On the next play, we have some more short passing from Carr. Here we're going to have a man across the board with a single high safety. The Steelers linebackers get fooled by the play action. Carr recognizes the linebacker's flow to the line of scrimmage, and he quickly locates his big tight end, Darren Waller, over the middle on this over route manned up with a corner. Waller gets early separation, and the linebackers can't recover quickly enough. Carr hits Waller for a gain of 10 yards. From the end zone angle, we will see Carr's eyes come up quickly from the play fake, identify the linebackers at the line of scrimmage, and get his eyes right to Waller on the over route. Next play, again, we're going to be running out of play action. These linebackers are going to move up, recognize the fake, and drop back and to their left. Carr is going to again have Waller running this over route, and his running back working this little check down here. Carr feels the pressure, climbs the pocket, which is good, but his climb is a little bit of a choppy foot jog to me. You want to see him keep that strong base so he can get the ball out at any time. What he's doing is somewhere between a climb and a scramble, which gets you nothing, in my opinion. The second issue I have on this play is that this ball needs to be getting to the over route. This is open in the NFL, but Carr elects to go to the check down again for a gain of maybe 2 yards. This is just leaving meat on the bone, in my opinion. There could have been a bigger play here for him. On the next play, we're doing the same thing. We're missing big play opportunities, We just can't be doing this to ourselves all game long. Defensively here, we're in Tampa 2. What this means is we have our traditional cover 2 shell safety look, but to help us protect that deep middle field, we're going to be dropping this middle linebacker to the deep middle. Offensively, we're golden. We have a great cover 2 beater with this dagger concept. Dagger is a heavily used concept in the NFL that is used to beat many coverages, cover 2 being one of them. The premise of this concept is to have a clear route, usually in the form of a go, a post, or a corner route. Here it's a go route by Davante Adams. The goal of this, though, is to have this route occupy the safety and get him to carry with him to go over the top upfield. In Tampa 2, this dropping linebacker is also likely to carry with this go route. The goal is to open up the middle of the field to allow our deep dig to come open right behind our go route. Watching this route combo play out and develop, we see that this deep dig route is going to come completely wide open. We don't get more open than this in the NFL. The issue with this play, however, is that Derek Carr has already thrown this little check down underneath. Is it open? Yes. 5-yard completion, great. But we need to ask ourselves, what was the reason Josh McDaniels was dialing up this play? For a 5-yard check down? I don't think so. And if it is, then there's bigger issues going on in Las Vegas. The purpose of this play is to get the ball to this dig for a chunk gain. Carr's check down tendencies have really failed to open up this offense to its full potential. From the end zone angle, yes, I see the defender is getting some penetration. However, this is an easy shuffle set to the left, one hitch, get your base back, and rip this dig. This is how this play should have went down, but Carr was happy with the 5-yard chip shot and moving on. Like I said, there's just meat left on the bone watching this game back. Moving on to the next play, we're going to have this little inside release flag route. I mentioned earlier Carr's accuracy in the short game. As he begins to push the ball further down the field, his accuracy drops off exponentially. Here, making this throw to Waller, this ball is underthrown, and as we can see, Waller's going to have to slow up and come back to the ball and adjust to make this catch. It's better shown from the end zone angle here. This ball is going to die on him and fall inside of Waller, where he has to slow down and come back to the ball to make the catch. This ball needs to be here on Darren Waller's body, not here. This is just inconsistent accuracy from Carr in the deep quadrants of the field. Unfortunately, it feels like I've been showing a lot of bad from Derek Carr, so I want to get back on the right track and show some good. I'm not here to just tear the man down, but the tape is the tape, and I don't get to control this. On the next play, Carr is going to be working this whip or this return route. He's going to be pressured and forced to get out of the pocket. Renfrow is almost going to have to run this route for a second time to free himself. This was really good playmaking by Carr here, operating outside of the structure of the offense and finding an open target on the move to make something out of nothing. This last play is a bit of a mixed bag for me. The play design should look familiar, we just get there in a different way. Again, we're looking at that cover 2 shell with that middle field cover help. Again, we're running this dagger concept like earlier, but we're getting there from a switch release, which realistically doesn't really change much. So we know that this means this deep dig should be coming open here over the middle versus defensive look. For whatever reason, when I let this play, we see the defense blows this coverage and leaves Renfrow wide open up the seam. Carr is going to see this and does really well to process what has happened, because this is not supposed to be the look he's seeing right now against this defense. With the game on the line, Carr has a chance to deliver a massive play for his offense, and all he has to do is put this ball inside the hashes somewhere in this box. He delivers the ball outside the bottom hash, and it gets intercepted. From the end zone angle, we see why. Again, Carr is making this throw while doing this little jogging climb in the pocket. He needs to climb, keep that strong base, and rip this up the seam with accuracy. Instead, he misses wide and throws an interception, essentially ending this game. The final part of this video that I want to get into is where I see Derek Carr fitting the best. As mentioned at the top of this video, I see the New Orleans Saints, the New York Jets, and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers as possible landing spots. Due to the Buccaneers' style of play and their cap kind of dilemma, I don't really see them as a great fit, and I'd probably take them off the table first. Between the Saints and the Jets, I honestly think both would be a good spot, but due to the elite defense, the improving offensive weapons, and the fact that they simply looked like a quarterback away from the playoffs last year, I do think the Jets would be a good spot for him, though, like I said, both would give him the opportunity to play well within their offense. I've seen some say Carolina is an option, but I just don't see that. I think they will be going after a quarterback in the upcoming NFL draft rather than seeking a veteran like Derek Carr. With that being said, I want to use this to transition to the fact that it is draft season. And with that being said, be watching for our draft content. Over the next several months, I'll be posting various draft related videos such as scouting reports of players, positional rankings, mock draft, combine reviews, and so much more. If you liked this video and are looking forward to the NFL draft content that's coming out, this channel is the channel for you, and I would strongly advise you consider subscribing and hitting the bell for notifications when we post more content, as draft season is coming into play right now. As for this video, leave your comments below where you think Carr fits best, but until next time, that's all I got for you today. Peace.